Hey everyone, it's Colin here. Ever step into a space and feel like it's already yours? That's the Grayson model from Ashton Woods here in Devonshire. This isn't just square footage, it's your canvas for whatever comes next. I'm walking you through it now, and trust me, by the end, you'll get why this one's turning heads. So let's step inside. Hey everybody, it's Colin Slattery. We're here at the Devonshire Community again this week. I have two homes to show you. One of them is a model home, which is this one, the Grayson model, as well as a spec home. I will tell you the spec home is for sale. However, the Ashton Woods builder in the Devonshire Community is no longer building any more homes. They have a few spec homes left and they'll be closing out. However, I was made aware that there is a community in the area that does have this model that you can build, and you can see the sites as well. So definitely reach out to me if you have questions about that. As you walk through this home, you'll see why it's probably one of the better homes that we've walked through that's on the market right now. This Grayson model is a 4-bed, 3.5-bath, 2-car garage, and it has 2,800 square feet. Obviously, you can adjust some of that when you're building it, but just to give you kind of a base level. And at the time of the recording, it's starting in the upper 400s. So it's a little bit higher than some of the ones that we've seen, but as you walk through it, you'll kind of get a feel for why that might be the case. Additionally, Ashton Woods is offering a competitive rate that is on the table, as well as a possible USDA loan. It's definitely got some incentives. They also have some closing cost incentives if you work with their lender. So if you have questions, again, reach out. We're happy to share that information. Now, as we walk through the Grayson model, I'm going to answer some questions throughout the course of this walkthrough so that you're a little bit more prepared if you're thinking about buying right now. The first question that a lot of people are asking me right now is, what are interest rates doing? Well, interest rates are largely just kind of staying stagnant. They're not doing a whole lot at the moment. However, they are lower than they were last year. But one of the biggest reasons that we're walking through these new builds is because they are some of the most competitive rates that I've seen in the market, certainly better than resale in a lot of ways. In addition to that, the new builders are also offering a lot of incentives to close with them. So things like closing costs, design center incentives, stuff like that. So there really is a lot of opportunity when you're going to build a new home, or if you choose a spec home, they have some really cool stuff that you can do. Now, one of the big questions that I'm also being asked right now is whether it's a good time to buy a home, or is it better to wait for 6 months from now, maybe that spring buying season where a lot of buyers get into the market. And I would put it this way. Firstly, as a licensed real estate agent, my job is to help you purchase a home when you're looking to purchase a home and for the reasons that you want to purchase a home. That being said, I will always advise you on when the right time might be or when a better time might be. What I mean by that is when I look at the market, generally speaking, for my sellers, let's say, I often indicate to them, hey, most buyers are coming out during the spring buying season and that smaller fall buying season that we see in early fall. So if you're going to list your home and you really want to sell it faster than the other markets, then I recommend that you put it on then. But for buyers, I would give the opposite advice for. And the reason is that when there is fewer buyers in the market, you have more choice. Invariably, there's always homes going to be on the market, even back during the 2020 era, where we saw homes drop to, in my Phoenix market anyway, just under 3,000 homes active on the market in all of Maricopa County, which was unprecedented. I had never seen that in my career, and I haven't seen it since. And I would say that that is not the best time to purchase a home because you have less options. And for every home that's on the market at the time, I think we had quite a few buyers per home. So you want to look for an opportunity as a buyer when there is more homes on the market, fewer buyers in the market, so that you can have your pick of what is available. Additionally, if you were to purchase a home now in November or December, there's a lot of incentives that, for example, the new builds will offer you towards the end of the year that you wouldn't sometimes get during a more hot market like the spring buying season. Now, as I touched on early in that question, I always say that I'm happy to advise my clients on when I think could be good opportunities for them to purchase. But some folks have to buy now, some folks have to buy during the hotter markets. And so a lot of them will ask me, well, what do I do? There's a lot of opportunities, no matter what market you're in, to be able to succeed. And we just have to define the outcome. When you're purchasing a home in a hotter season, a lot of times you have to purchase a home because you have to purchase a home. You have to move, or the home that you currently live in is something you just really want to sell because it's a hot market. And so we have to find you something in a hotter market. And we have opportunities for that too. And if you have more questions about that, I can walk through it with you. But sufficient to say, I always think it's better to purchase a home when there's less activity on the listings themselves, including the new builds, and that you have the opportunity to negotiate a little bit more fairly in your direction. So that's my thought on when to buy, because invariably, if you were to get a higher than normal interest rate right now, and in 6 months, we have the opportunity to potentially refinance, then not only are you getting the home that you want at the price you want with some of the incentives that you want, but if you didn't get the best interest rate and it came down more in 6 months, then you have the opportunity to refinance potentially. That's one of the things I really love about these new builds, though, is that you're seeing interest rates that are even lower than we probably will see in the market in general. And so I really recommend that you get a hold of me so I can put those in touch with you and you can be able to take advantage of some of those rates and incentives that they're offering. So as I mentioned earlier in this video, this model is no longer being offered in this particular community of Devonshire, but there is a community nearby that I would love to take you to and show you not only this model, but some of the other opportunities that they have in that community. They are just starting out, they are just building, and they are actually a little bit closer to the action than even the Devonshire community is. And what I mean by that is, remember in some of my other videos, I mentioned that they're bringing a lot of shops into this area. They're bringing a Costco, they're bringing an HEB. Everything that we love is coming into the Forney area. And this community that I'm mentioning actually is right nearby where a lot of that stuff is happening. So if that's something that you're interested in, like I said before, get in touch with me because I want to be able to show you not just that community, but any other homes that you might be interested in looking at. Now, finally, one of the other big questions that everybody asks, and we've kind of addressed it in previous videos, but I wanted to make sure and flesh it out a little bit more here, and that is whether or not you should have a realtor with you when you go to new builds. Now, I think that having representation in any kind of capacity when you're doing some kind of big financial transaction is always a good idea because you want somebody in your corner that's going to take care of your interests. And you want a true professional. You don't just want somebody that's going to be collecting a commission who will do a half-baked job and not really take care of what's important to you. So when you're interviewing agents or you're considering hiring an agent, you want to make sure that they're going to be somebody who is looking out not for themselves, but for you and for what you're trying to do. That's why I recommend people get a hold of me and have me come with them so that I can walk through these homes with you. We can dream together about what you're looking to do and make sure that we find the home that fits your needs when the time is right. We're going to go out to the backyard, which I think is one of the last big selling points of this home. And being that it's on a 50-foot lot, you have a nice spacious backyard here. Again, unfortunately, they're no longer selling in this community. However, the community nearby has generous sized lots as well that we can tour. And you can also see the lot itself if you're going to build from the ground up. Now, this channel has been putting out content for a little over a month now, and the idea is that we want to provide as much valuable information and content that is going to help you, the potential buyer, find the right home that fits your needs. We walk through new builds on this channel because most of the homes that are offering the best incentives right now are the new build communities. Now, that's not to say we can't walk through resale homes if you want to. And if you're in the DFW, the East Texas, or the Phoenix area, I can help you do that. In addition, I would really love to hear some feedback on these videos telling me whether or not this stuff is valuable to you, whether or not you want me to change anything about the content, focus on, certain areas and things like that, because I want to make these videos as informative as I possibly can. Most importantly, thank you for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and follow for more, and we'll see you in the next one.